Meine Damen, meine Herren, meine nicht-binären, welcome back to Renoized in the studio, and welcome to this video, which I've decided to call How Not to Modify Your S by Solar Flying V, based purely on the chaos that this guitar mod was. I've recorded this after I finished it, and I can tell you that I've made some mistakes. I've not quite got things right. If you want to follow the steps I've taken here, do so at your own risk. I can't take any responsibility for any damage you do to your guitar. So, I'm sitting here with my pride and joy, my S by Solar Flying V. This is the budget model from Solar, and for the 300 euros I spent on it, I'm willing to attack it with some tools. I'm not sure I would do the same if this were the standard model, which costs about 1,000 depending on what hardware you have on it. The whole point of this video is that I wanted to add an output jack to my guitar. Let me show you. Right here. Because the output jack from the factory, let me take this off. The output jack from the factory here is suboptimal, let's say. I find it's very uncomfortable to play standing up because the cable just hits you in the groin. This is a problem even after I've bent the opening of the output jack to try and make the angle a bit more comfortable. It just didn't work. Now, I've seen guitars with a modded output jack up here, but in order to get the wiring up here, that's just beyond my routing abilities at this time. In this video, I'm going to show you a much simpler method that should be within reach for many DIYers out there. Again, I want to show you just, here is the finished result. Bring that a bit closer to the camera. I'm very pleased with it, and I'll show you how I got there in but a moment. Before I do that, I want to tell you quickly about the mods I've done in this guitar already, because I've really made this guitar my own since I bought it. Starting at the headstock. First off, I changed the tuners. These are Harley Benton locking tuners, just to give me some more tuning stability. Perhaps the tuners on the standard model are fine, but I thought for the 40 euros that these cost me, it was worth it for the tuning stability for live and in the studio. Next, I replaced the nut on this, as the factory one was made of plastic. And after a while, the high D here just cut into the nut and made it unplayable. This is a Graphtec Black Tusk 6060, and it was pretty much the perfect size. I had to do barely anything to make it fit nicely. Next up, I have ebonized the fretboard with this stuff. Speedball Super Black India ink. I swear by this stuff, highly recommended. Next, I couldn't get the bridge as low as I quite wanted it to be to get the action I wanted, so I ended up filing about 3 millimeters of metal off the back of them. Now, the action is very low. It's a shredding machine. And finally, because I'm a clumsy idiot, I had this up on a hanger on the wall, and I managed to pull it off, and I managed to snap off the pots and the switch on this. These are all replacements right here. Somehow, I thank my lucky stars, I managed not to scratch any of the paint. I have no idea how that happened, but I'm not complaining. I was incredibly lucky. So, with all that out of the way, let me show you how I added this extra jack to this thing. All right, we are here at my workbench, which is really just my sofa. I live in Cologne. I haven't got that much space. So, let's start by getting this cover off. Right. Let's turn this so you can see. You can see what I've done. I have put copper tape around the outside, but while I'm in here, I'm going to need to take these out and put some copper tape there as well, because this is an incomplete Faraday cage here. Editing Alex here. I have since found out that this step is completely unnecessary. If you have an S by Solar guitar, you do not need to put copper tape on. It is already painted from the factory. There is already a Faraday cage. They do not have problems with interference. Once again, I am not a YouTuber. But let's try and get these off without damaging anything. The switch will come off easily. There we go, there's the switch. Can I get those off without damaging anything? Being really careful of the paint here. I really don't want to chip or scratch this. This thing is still in very good condition. Oh, these really don't want to come off now. I know what I can do. There we go. Look, that's a nice, safe way of doing it. Microfiber cloth and some plumber's spanners. Well, pliers I suppose they are, that's not a spanner. This thing is pretty dusty. But yeah, give the thing a clean once I've got it all apart. I hear it's a curse of flying V's that you hit them off everything. Wouldn't be surprised with my BC Rich. Yeah, I whacked that off everything. I'm just very clumsy. Ooh, that one doesn't want to... There we go. Oh. If you look, I'm not sure how... I'll bring that closer to the camera. That there is the only damage that it suffered when it fell, and that is nicely hidden behind the tone knob. Right, let's get all these electronics out of the way, and screwdriver. We're going to have to reposition. That was one of the reasons I was turning it around before. I have attached a screw here to the ground of the wiring, but that is where I want to come through with my new jack. Actually, one thing, can you see on camera? It's got a curve in it, and that's because you normally put these on a convex curve. You normally put it on the outside of the guitar. But here, along here, that is concave. So I'm going to have to bend that carefully. Again, I'm going to use my microfiber cloth here. Going to carefully bend that the other way, or bend it at least a bit flat. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. we go. Hard to get it on camera. That is now bent the other way. All right. Let's get from the tone knob on the volume knob. That one's pretty stuck, but we need to get that up so I can get some tape down. There we go. Right, where's my copper tape? Right, next, I'll do it from the other angle. Let's get all the stuff out of the way. Let's scratch the guitar. So I want the jack to go in here. Around. Well, let's mark it vertically first. I think we want to go in there vertically, and then let me measure. Measure twice, cut once, and all that. Not sure how much of this you can see. I hope you can see. It's about 33 millimeters. Let's see, so that'll be 60 and a half. Don't know how accurately I can do that. Oh, this is hard from this angle. About there, does that look like the middle? Looks a bit off. Right, let's just... There's one thing we can do. Where have I put down the jack now? Oh, here. Let's take the jack off the plate and line it up. Oops, don't lose that. I highly recommend getting one of those magnet trays for your metal parts. The magnetic ones will stick at least. So, if I line up the plate with my hole, does that look right? I think that looks right. Okay. This is it. Everything up to this point can be reversed. But making a new hole in your guitar is not for the faint of heart. Am I really doing this? Hole punch, by the way, or the center punch. Yeah, come on, let's do it. Oh. Oh. Feels wrong, but it's gonna be right. I am first drilling a pilot hole, which is recommended. I'm not sure if it's the right size, but I'm using a 4mm drill bit here. Let's double check what size Forstner bit we should use. I've got spade bits, I've got Forstner bits, but I think that looks a bit big, to be honest. That is a 25mm Forstner bits. Yeah, it looks like a 20mm bit will do the job. 25 is too much. It's important to get this right, because enlarging this hole later is going to be a much bigger job. Let's get the pipe. Yeah, you can see in the center there, I might choose a smaller drill bit for that center bit, that which locates it. There am I. One of the drill bits. Because if you look, that center bit will locate on this. Get your fingers out the way, Holmes. This should help the Forstner bit locate. Right. Now, very important to get this first hole straight. Oof, just knocked the camera. Excuse me. Okay. Yep. Here we go. How are we doing? Yeah, that looks good from that angle. And we haven't got into the copper tape yet. That's strange. Like, this drill bit just isn't long enough. We'll have I push it in, extend it out a bit. There we go. Push through the tape. Not that you can see it from that angle. Okay, I guess I'm doing this. All right. Scary. I want to get this right. Oops. Oh, I've got it on the torque setting. It should be on the drill setting. The wood smells a bit funny. I'm not sure what the S-Bisolars are made of. Oops. I say oops, what I've done, that you can't see, just knocked out all of the copper tape. I probably should have waited. Right, let's get the Hoover, clean up some of that. Well, let's do some of that copper tape again, I guess. No going back now. It's still got its stick. It's still making a Faraday cage. But let's again turn. Ooh. Little drill bit has been lying under the fretboard. Be more careful with your tools than I am, people. 2.5, yeah. Honestly, I don't know if I could have expected much better than that. Little half circular piece of wood there. But yeah. Some more sawdust there. But yeah, I have made a mess of the copper tape up there. Let's just clean that up. Still a bit of sawdust in there, but whatever. Oh, right in the face. I don't know what I expected. I really do not know what I expected from that. What am I like? Okay, no, I thought that's the earth to go into the shield, not the... I thought it would come loose from the other jack, which I don't want to disconnect. I don't know if I've made that clear. I don't think I have. Hey, look, you can see the copper tape. Right. Copper tape is back. Let's... I think that's the right set. Let's put this jack back together and see if we can get it to sit right. Come on. Got it cross-threaded. There we go, it's off. Does it look nicer that way around? It's not particularly one of the bits that looks nice, is it? Plumber's pliers. Let's make sure this is on nice and tight. And half of this isn't even on camera because I'm an idiot. That's nice and tight. Right. Oh, it fits. Good. That's half of what I was worried about. But yeah, that looks pretty damn good. Oh, I've put all my drill bits away. I do need to... Let me have a look. You can see my smallest bits, so I don't know where my 6mm bit is, but yeah. A lot of my bits have snapped, so I'm going to have to go and see if I can find a smaller bit for wood, because I want to drill pilot holes for the screws. If you like a piece of wood, you should drill pilot holes. I have found some teeny tiny ones. I think these are even for metal, but you know. Let's test them against the screws. Yep, that'll do. Right. Yeah. Whacking it off everything. Right, so let's have a look here. Does it matter which way it's around? No. So that's pretty centered. I'm pretty happy with that. What I might do is I might file around this, because if I get my ruler, where it's gone, was it on the floor? It was on the floor. I thought I saw it there. Yeah, because You see the indent around the nut there, around the jack? That is about 23 millimeters, so that's not going to sit flat. Right, so I'm just going to very carefully make just the end of this hole a bit bigger. And this is what I meant about it being much harder to enlarge the hole. This is what you'll have to do. "30 minutes I've been recording. Oh, no! My paint, no! It's not that noticeable, but be careful when you're doing this. Don't do that. I can cover that up with a bit of permanent marker, probably. Where is it? The thing about black guitars, you can cover things up with a bit of Sharpie. Idiot. It's fine, it's not like you haven't dented this thing before. Yeah, that looks good. That looks like it's sitting flat. Right. Get that lined up. And we'll make some center punch holes. Not that you can fucking see that. I've not really made a video like this before. It's hard to appreciate, but without doing it, how hard it is to get things on camera. Oh yeah, the big YouTubers have someone else to do it for them. I bloody don't. Stay there, guitar. What am I doing with my life? And these are only little screws, so I don't want to go too deep. That'll probably do. Yeah. All right. I hope this works. Hell knows I have done a better job of centering holes than that, but I don't think anyone's going to notice. Do not lose any of these homes. In fact, let's just put them on my magnetic bowl so that I don't lose them.
Right, which one looks the most lined up? Because I could have done a much better job of that. I think this one looks the best lined up. Is that even the right screwdriver? I think that is a number 2. More tools! Suppose I could get it. Oops, no. Started by hand, but yeah, these screws are a number 2. Use the right screwdriver and you'll have a much easier time of things. Ah, you're joking me! I'll take that off so you can see. That's chipped off a really big bit of it, god damn it. People aren't going to look there, that's not where people are looking. Get some Sharpie in there and no one will know. Is that the wood telling me that we need a bigger drill bit? I can't really tell, but I think that's a 1.8. I should have some 2mm in here. Let's try that one. Yeah, again, none of this is a tutorial. It's just me doing it and bringing you along for the ride. Do this at your own risk. Sawdust all over the sofa again. Is there a... There might be a better way up for this, but you know. Right. Where did that bloody screw go? There, it's still attached. Oh, again, you can't see from that angle, can you? Let's just move the camera. Let's just drop the camera. Please do not chip my paint anymore. And then that one looks like it's in the right position as well. Yeah, not a bad job, not the best job. Worse things have happened. Right. Let's make a hole in there. And the copper tape on the other side. Well, I suppose we can just go down here, can't we? Make a hole in the copper tape for the wire. Right, then we need the soldering iron. You need quite a few tools for this job. Where am I going to plug this in? Unplug that. Oh, can I get... No, I can't get that in. 1 second, the light's going to go up for a second. There we go. Right, let's get that hot. I had a piece of wire. There it is. Right, this is some rather long cable. We don't need all this. I'd say that much will do it, I think. And this is 3-core cable, because this is originally what we used for MIDI cables, but we had some spare. Plenty of cable. Not that I'm going to use it for much, but these are great. I love these tools. This just makes life so much easier when stripping cables. A bit more than that. Oh, don't cut the earth. What I'm going to do, I'm just gonna, oops, not need to pull them like that. I'm gonna take these 2 cables and twist them together, effectively giving me an unbalanced cable, which is what guitar cables are, unbalanced. There we go. Soldering that. Lovely. Right, let's see. Where's this? Here is the in. That one. So we want to solder to the middle and ground on the back. Although, what I think I'll do first, it would be sensible, I think, to solder to the jack first and then solder to the rest of the hardware. Ideally, this would have all been drilled before the guitar was painted, but you know, needs must. Keep your screws safe, don't lose them. Right. So, looks like this one, opposite this bit, is the tip, and that's the sleeve. I love working with new things because the holes aren't covered in solder already. Although my cable is, and I need to heat that up. So I think this is hot already. There we go. Just bend that up out of the way so it doesn't make contact with the sleeve. Let's put on a bit more solder to hold it in place. Don't think it's going to win me any awards, but it's on. There we go, try and find a nice angle for the camera. Don't even know if that's in focus. There we go. That looks good to me. Now that I've bent it the way it needs to go, not sure if it'll fit in the cavity. Let's just move this ground a bit, because I don't want it to snap once it's in there. There we go, I think that'll do. Not my prettiest work, I've done much prettier, but I think that will suffice. I've made a small hole in the copper tape. I don't want to make it bigger. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. It's not fitting in there very nicely, and I really don't want to snap anything. Yeah, okay, that's in. It's just what I can do is I can check for contact. Look at all my tools. the ground's connected at least. I can't really check the other one very easily. I'm just going to assume it's connected and fix it later if it's not. Right. Not done yet. So. What I'm seeing is I need the ground to be longer. So let's take off some more of this. There we go. Right, let's actually use this third arm that is honestly a bit crap, but it's fine. It works, just. Right. Yeah, that's the other jack. I don't want to disconnect that. No, you can't really see from your angle. But just trust me, I'm soldering this onto the bottom of the pot. I think you can guess that much. I'm going to put a bit more on just to make sure it's covered. On there nice and tight, but looks good to me. And I've just taken it off for crap's sake. That should do it. Right. Then my wires have come loose. Retwist them. Ow. Hot. What did I expect? What was I expecting, honestly? What you need to watch out for with these, I am tempted to put it through these tweezers. Where are my tweezers? There. These little holes in the top here. But I'm worried about that coming in contact with the ground, which is not what we want. So I'm just going to hold them there. So your tip, your live, or whatever we're calling it, goes in contact, oop, careful, don't burn your fingers, with the middle pin on your volume pot. Ow, hot. Things just fly out of my hands. So just, yeah, use tweezers so you don't burn yourself. I think I've got it. Yeah. Again, not a very pretty job, but I think I've done it. Yeah, won't win any awards, but that's not why I'm here. Right. While I'm in here, I want to do some modifications. Yeah, that connects to the tone pot, which connects your live signal to ground. And that's how the tone pot works. What I'm going to do, very simply, is I'm going to cut that wire. And that's going to stop the tone pot from working, because I never actually use that. It doesn't work for the sound I like. That is my volume to the switch. I am just going to wire the neck pickup straight to my volume pot. Now I have to find out which one was the neck, which one was the... Oh, while I'm in here too, I should find out, ground the cavity in here. Black is the neck pickup. If you look here, I've put some more copper tape in here. Don't know if it's needed, but what I'm pretty sure I need to connect that to the ground, otherwise it's not going to work. I'm pretty sure that's how a Faraday cage works. I have some single core wire for this very occasion. Yeah, I should be able to get a screw in there. Let me find a suitable screw. Here we are. Ooh, where's the camera? That teeny tiny screw. Not sure if in focus. Let me see just quickly if it's conductive, because if it's not conductive, I'm wasting my time. No, that's conducting. Again, I have no idea how necessary any of this is. But I want to be safe rather than sorry. Force this in over here. I'm not going to bother even drilling a pilot hole because this is completely out of sight. There we go. That's connected. The neck pickup is black. When I originally knocked these off, I wrote to Solar and they very kindly sent me a diagram of how to wire it. Very kind of them. Good customer service. Didn't even have to wait that long. The grey one has come loose, so fine. Not asked. Might just snip that one so it doesn't accidentally make contact with something, because that would be annoying. There we go. That shouldn't make contact with anything. Right. Third arm. Hold on to that. And then, yeah. I don't think it matters which one connects to which. So let's see how easy it is to get this one out. There we go. And then we just connect that to there. Come on. This is very fiddly work and the angle I'm working at isn't the best. I recommend not shooting a video when you do yours. If you do yours, again, not a tutorial. I take no responsibility for any damage that happens to your guitar should you attempt to copy me. Right. And I believe that means we are neck pickup only. All that's left to do is put it back together. What am I doing with my life? Some holes in the tape for the pots and the switch. Not that 2 out of those 3 do anything anymore. Right, I'm not sure if there's a particular order I'm supposed to put this in, but I'm going to start with the switch. But yeah, not that it does anything anymore, but I want it to look right. There should be more metal guitars with a neck pickup only option. Neck, bridge. I've been saying neck the whole time. I mean, I'm talking about the bridge. I only want the bridge pickup. What am I talking about? How many times have I said it now? Have to do a counter in the edit. Yep, that feels pretty solid. Yeah, that'll do. I can change it later if I really want. Ah! You've got to put them in the right place, yeah. The volume was the one at the front, not the one at the back. In that case, I should have made the cable a bit longer, but never mind. Ah, hindsight is 2020. Can you tell I'm not a luthier? Oh. Almost forgot. These little spiky washer dealies. Put them in. That appears to be turning the pot with it. Hold on, I'm going to have to get a hand on the other side. Let's get a ground for the bridge pickup cavity, not the neck pickup, the bridge pickup. You idiot. Now, with any luck, or with a little bit of luck, wherever the cover's gone, bloody hell, what am I like? How many times have I said that today? I can't see the cover. I can't believe that. Oh, it's bloody next to the small parts tray. I am not confident enough to put the knobs back on until I've tried plugging it in. Yeah. One thing I am going to do while I'm here, this guitar has a shielding problem. Because there's a ground. That should be connected. We've got a bit of resistance there. What about the other jack? Is that still connected? No, bridge posts. They're connected, okay. Okay, they are connected. I see what it is. Yeah, only one of the bridge posts is connected to the ground. Yeah, this one isn't connected either. Yeah. Oh, that's why. It's that post that's connected to ground, not the other one. Right, but I think it's that way around. Yeah. If you look here, no electrical connection. There, but not there. Is there a particular way around for this? I think you should put it on that way around so you can easily adjust it, because you can't when this pickup's in the way. bring you over here. Down a bit. Right. I think my plan is I'm going to scrape the paint off this bit and hope that it makes electrical connection with that. While I've still got my files out. Right. Put that back in. Same way as the others. And I'll see if that makes a connection. And then I'm going to have lots of fun intonating this again. Somewhere around there, who knows? Right. No. There's a connection. There isn't. All right. Next step. This neck is filthy. That needs a clean before I put any strings on it. Going to scrape off some paint here. Haven't really got anything good to get in that gap. Please make an electrical connection. Ah, good. Finally. Now, I only have to do that 5 more times. And this is not a comfortable sitting position, so I'm going to sit like this. Right. I'll speed it up for you, but for me, this is going to be a bit tedious. Alright, it's only been a few seconds for you, but for me, it is the next day, and I have made some progress off camera. I've decided that in this Tune-o-matic bridge, the saddles, I guess you'd call them, they're not being affected by the springs. I spent, I don't know, a good half an hour taking everything here apart, trying to find those springs, and then I couldn't find the last one. So I've decided, sod it, we're just going to go with this. These saddles are wedged in here so tight that the springs aren't really doing anything. It's the screws that are doing the work. So, what else have I done? I have taken off the paint in important places. I have verified there is an electrical connection. So now my strings should be connected to ground and stop that annoying noise. And, shut up, ambulance in the background. Right. Let's get some strings on this thing. So, what I do with these sets is, this is a 7-string set. This is D'Addario. I might go with Ernie Balls next time, I think, because I've already put these on one guitar, and I think the C string is a bit floppy. I like my low strings to be very tight. So I'm just going to chuck that out there. What's wrong with this picture? I've put these through bloody left-handed. Absolute moron. Oh, my life. Right. Some very floppy strings on there. Let's take this over to the computer and plug it into a tuner.
All right, we're back at the computer. I have the guitar plugged in and I have it attached to my guitar app. I'm just going to start tuning this thing up. Okay, that's it tuned up. Let's hear how it sounds. Oh, turn your speakers on first. That helps. Probably the intonation is all over the place, but that sounds like a guitar. And if you look, I am plugged in to my new socket. It is working as intended. Let's just stand up quickly. The plan is that when standing up, plug that in there. There you go. I can't even see how that looks. I'm going to move back to my camera so I can see how it looks from the side. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that. That's tucked out of the way. And now I know that I'm not going to have to take it apart again. Making a mess. Going to put back on the knobs. Let's just confirm. I think that confirms we're using the bridge pickup, not the neck pickup. Volume knob still works. Ooh, no, the tone knob is turning. Does nothing though. Switch also does nothing. So, it is having the intended effect. I am going to have to fix that tone knob though. Oh, I'm not particularly happy with these strings though. I think I might have to go and get those Ernie balls. Because this is a 59 and the Ernie balls start at 62. I think I'm going to have to do quite a bit of fiddling here. Because the
bridge is all out of whack. It's been taken off, put back on so many times and filed down. Let's test. You probably can't hear all that much of this, but I can. No, we're still getting some shielding problems. I am going to have to look into that. I'll see, but that's for another time. Anyway, I'm calling the installation of the second jack a success. I'm calling the wiring mostly a success because I still need to tighten up the tone pot. The bridge was not a success, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with my work. I'm going to leave it there. This was how not to mod your S by Solar, but I'm pretty happy. If you're still here after this hour-long video, thank you very much for sticking around. Leave us a comment in the comments, give us a like for the algorithm, really helps us out, and I'll see you in the next one.